Bit of a sluggish news day today, so I don't really have a lot to report on. Meaning that I get to report on something that I find fascinating. 4chan founder Chris Poole has left Google. I was unaware that he actually worked at Google. Because from my connections, I hear that if you want to work at a big tech company, you need to have a pristine past. You need to be clean of soul and clean of spirit and not be associated with racismus and sexismus. Back in 2016, 4chan was called the Cathedral of Misogyny. And now it is a place filled with racismus. So it's a little bit interesting that the old owner managed to work with Google. I know that he actually got a very progressive girlfriend, which made him progressive. And the problems with being progressive is that you can't be progressive without censorship. It goes hand in hand. So he started annoying the people on the website, which advocated itself on being a free speech haven. All of a sudden, the moderator started banning. And that's when bad things happened. I believe that's when 8chan became a thing. Like, a lot of people left the website. And then the website was being sold, I believe. I hope I'm not mistaken, but it was being sold to a Japanese man who stopped censoring and everything was good. But let's read the article. So Chris Poole, who founded controversial online community. Why is it controversial, though? You know, like, I really love how the mainstream media gets to label things controversial. They would never say that CNN is controversial. They would never say that their website is controversial. I mean, a lot of things can be controversial. If two people complain about it, is it controversial? Like, what causes the controversy? In a liberal society, almost everything is controversial. Them claiming 4chan is controversial is controversial. But anyway, Poole did not respond to multiple requests for comments, and Google confirmed that Poole is no longer an employee there. So he has departed. He goes by the moniker of Moot. And this is kind of weird, because usually when the mainstream media reports on someone like Sargon of Akkad, real name Carl Benjamin, and this time it's actually the opposite. It's like Poole, moniker Moot. Founded 4chan in 2003 at age 15. It grew into one of the most influential and controversial online communities to date. Rolling Stone famously called him the boy genius and the Mark Zuckerberg of the online underground. 4chan is not underground. Like, it's a public website. Anyone can go there. It's not mysterious. It's not like some dark, shady place where bad businesses happen. What? 4chan became an early internet haven for nearly unfettered free speech. Oh no. Oh, fascismus. But over time, it faced criticism for hosting hackers, obscene imagery, harassment, and leaked information. Dude, all these things, literally all of these things can be found on the Twitter. Like, all of these things can be found on other social media websites. Have you gone to IRC? Probably not. You're not old enough. Discord has this stuff. Why are you singling out 4chan? Like, honestly, I was so disappointed when I was an edgy teenager, because I thought like 4chan is like the literally Satan incarnate's website, and I go there and I'm disappointed because like I've been promised a lot of edginess, and yet here I am, and it was like people saying edgy jokes. And I'm like, but where are the hackers? Where's the obscene imagery? Where is the I can't find it. I mean, there is. I'm not going to lie, there isn't. But it's not in levels that would compare to what you can find on Twitter. Don't you have Maxine Waters on Twitter saying that if the jury doesn't reach the correct verdict, she encourages people to be more confrontational? They're already burning cities. Like, how much more confrontational can you get, Maxine? That's on the Twitter. Didn't you have like a basketball celebrity threatening a cop a couple of days ago? I would say that Twitter is a little bit more edgy if we're going to compare things. I love this. Harassment and leaked information, often targeting women and minority groups. Okay, so the problem isn't that people, like human beings, are getting harassed and their information leaked. No. Like, that's acceptable. The problem is like certain subcategories are getting that, so that's worse. I see. So like, if you're harassing and targeting people part of majority groups, that's fine. Maybe that's why they don't pick on Twitter, huh? Became the target of multiple lawsuits as well as FBI subpoenas or threats of violence on the site. So did other social medias. But it's interesting that they never focus on the good things that 4chan does. I think I had the video once. I need to see if I removed it or not. But I talked about the good things that 4chan did. Now, you need to understand what the website is. It's a website that allows people to remain anonymous, which means that they actually have free speech. They can say a lot of things. And it also cuts down on the celebrity bullshit. Because the celebrity bullshit on Reddit, for example, you have certain power users that a lot more people are willing to listen to what they say just because of the name, right? But when everyone is anonymous, all of a sudden it doesn't matter your race, your gender doesn't matter, your job, your political status doesn't matter. All it matters is your idea. Like, what exactly do you have to show to people? So it's a different experience when you go to these image boards. But not only that, like, you have people of various professions that go to these image boards. So you can have a doctor, you can have an engineer, you can have a social scientist, right? They all go to the same place. And when they tackle a problem, they all use their expertise from their real life. And oftentimes they manage to do interesting things. Like, for example, they solved the math equation that scientists couldn't solve. They managed to pinpoint the location of an ISIS base, and they sent that location to the Russians, and they called an airstrike on the place. They have managed to accomplish certain things that no other social media website has ever accomplished. And focusing only on the negative aspects is stereotyping and disingenuous. Now, apparently Paul revealed that he joined Google as a continuation of his work, and his now removed post stated he'd use his experience from a dozen years of building online communities and grow in ways one simply cannot on their own. He joined the product manager in the photos and streams unit, which oversaw social network efforts under Vice President Bradley Horowitz at the time. So this sparked speculation that the company hired him to help it revamp its social media ambitions, some of which aim to compete with Facebook's. I don't think Moot really has like the potential of creating a mainstream website that's popular. I think the reason 4chan is popular is because it censors less. The way I would compare 4chan today is exactly to the way Reddit used to be in 2016. There's not that much difference. Like, if you listen to what the mainstream media is telling you, it sounds like it's the most horrible place in the whole world. But when you actually go to the site, sure, occasionally you might see a disturbing post. Every now and then you might see something very edgy. But like, the worst thing you're going to see are edgy jokes made by anonymous people on the internet. That's it. And it's kind of funny in a way. Like, this leads to several conspiracy theories online. Because if Moot was working at Google, people are saying this is why 8chan got the ban hammer and not 4chan. Because for those of you who don't know, I forgot like what the controversy was, but the infrastructure under 8chan was pulled out by the companies hosting it. So 8chan had to find a different place. But what's interesting is that while 8chan was down, the mainstream media was attacking it and was vilifying it for things that did not happen because the website was down, so no one was posting on the website. I think it was like a murder or something. Maybe the Christchurch shooter, like maybe that was it, and they were blaming 8chan for hosting its manifesto, and it's like, dude, we're down. we have been taken off the air. You're talking about 4chan, all right? Different website, and people are saying, well, maybe it's because Boot was working at Google, so that's why they didn't went after it. It's kind of interesting, because like the mainstream media will go after Parler, but they don't go after 4chan. And I find it fascinating. I don't know why. Really, I just can't imagine why. I think it's because they know that these websites being anonymous, they can't really form a political movement. They can't really, have the same impact that a website like Parler does, where you can attract businesses, you can attract real name politicians there, you can do a lot better organizing. I'm not saying you can't organize with 4chan, obviously you can, but it's really not the same. And it definitely isn't something that makes money and gets brands to be interested. But yeah, this is what I wanted to say. And if I guess Moot would make another website that would be successful, then he would have to not censor it at all. But unfortunately, in today's culture, if you have a website that doesn't censor at all, like you actually have the American amendment of free speech, it's going to be attacked and businesses are not going to go there, which means that your website is not going to make money. I mean, 4chan is not a money maker. So I don't know, like I think first the culture would have to change for people to be more tolerant, more accepting of different views, go back to the way things were in the 90s, and then you could create a website that's for free speech. Right now, like the only thing that I would want, to be honest, because I understand there's not going to be a website of free speech, I would rather have a website that censors, like fine. I don't even care what it decides to censor, as long as it censors everyone the same. Because if you go on Twitter, like you have blue check marks that say the batshit crazy things and they don't get TOS violations, everyone else does. You know, you get on YouTube and you get to feel that there is now this rift between priority creators, which get special treatments, and everyone else. Like, I would like a website that treats everyone the same, but I don't think even that's going to happen. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section.